Hi, I'm Elaine Mitchell. It's great to be here, and I'll just tell you a little bit about what I'm going to be doing today with you guys. So, I'm a coach and a trainer, a cheerleader, a supporter, and basically, I just love to help people, like most people do, don't they? But like you, I have been to many a networking event in real life and obviously on Zoom as well, and on all the networks. And sometimes you get there, and if you're a coach like me, it can be death by life coach, because there are so many coaches there. There are so many people trying to make an impact, trying to make an impression, trying to sell you themselves, prostituting themselves, which is what I suppose networking is all about, isn't it? So, how can you stand out? I love to help people to stand out. I love to help people to stand out when they're doing their networking pitch. I love to help people to have the confidence to be more of who they are, to show their true self in a networking or in any environment, really. But today I'm here to talk to you about networking, how to change that elevator pitch into a passion pitch. Now, elevator pitches. Oh my Lord, aren't they boring? And where do we get that from? We say we have this pressure on ourselves that when you're in a networking situation, when you are making that first impression, when you are speaking to people brand new about your business who don't know anything about you, they don't know what your service or your product is that you're selling, they don't know anything about your personality, you don't know if you're going to connect with them people. And we have this saying that if you can get into an elevator with someone and tell them what you do, sell, tell them what you do in however long that takes, generally you get 60 seconds for your presentation. If you get the sale, if you get the product across, if you get yourself across in those 60 seconds, you have succeeded. Now, first of all, now I'm British, so when I don't even get in elevators, I get in a lift. We call it a lift. So straight away, calling it an elevator is a bit of a barrier to a lot of people. Once you've got into the lift, the elevator, you don't speak to people. I've just said we're British. We don't do that. We don't do that speaking to strangers malarkey, do we? No, we don't. We just hope that we are in the lift. There's not too many people in the lift. We press the button, it gets us up to our destination. We get out of the lift and we're like, that was a close call. I nearly had to speak to people. We would not dream of getting in a lift, getting in an elevator and striking up a conversation about who we are, where we're from, what we do, what we can do for you, and how much it'll cost you. We just don't do it. So having that connection of it being an elevator pitch makes it all a little bit awkward, and it makes it all a little bit blah. One of my favourite words, blah, because nobody's really interested. And when you think about being in a networking situation, most people are there for their own good. Most people are there to do and say what they want to get across. So today's session is all about turning that on its head. Today's session is all about changing your elevator pitch, which is blah, changing your elevator pitch into your story, into your presentation, into something that you are passionate about. Because the chances are, if you're in business, if your job involves you communicating with people and telling them what you do, putting yourself on the line, so to speak, you are desired, required, needed to be passionate about it. You're required to be passionate so that you can get that across. And I would say the chances are that if you are self-employed, if you're a business person, if you've got a job that involves something that lights you up and makes you so excited to be who you are and where you are, you want to let that passion come across. So you know what that means? It doesn't mean sticking yourself in a box for 60 seconds. It doesn't mean following certain protocols for 60 seconds or 3 minutes or 20 minutes if you're the keynote speaker. What it does mean is it means you put yourself across. You can come across as your authentic self. You can come across, if you're a little bit cheeky, come across as a little bit cheeky. If you're quiet and reserved, don't stand up there shouting, I am, I am, I am, because that's not you. And it will come across that it's not you as well. So today is about giving you some hints and tips, some information, some guidelines on how to have an excellent passion pitch. Scrap the elevator pitch, put your personality into it, and let's get passionate about our businesses. Let's get passionate about our pitches and take them forward. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, grab a pen and paper, make some notes, but you're more than welcome to have the notes at the end of the session as well. I can get them out to you. So I'm going to share my screen now and we're going to have a little bit of a presentation. I hope that's okay. Oh, seamless, always seamless getting this up and getting it forward. It amazes me, technology, how I've adapted so well since we've gone online, since the world sort of shut down and we stopped being able to meet people and hug them and share a coffee with them and all that sort of thing that we do naturally to build this business. But this translates so well as well. So there you can see, this is myself, Elaine Mitchell, Empowerment Coach. I'm welcoming you to this presentation, Elevator Pitch to Passion Pitch. I've got lockdown hair here, I've not got lockdown the hair there, and I'm really looking forward to getting it lightened and to getting a bit of shape in it as well. So let's get cracking, shall we? So networking, is it your worst nightmare or is it your biggest joy? Do you love it or do you hate it? And I think we do have two distinct camps in that as well. And I think a lot of the time when we are in networking situations, we have that internal dialogue, we have that doubt, we have that worry, we have those thoughts that this is awful. I'm speaking to people who I don't know. I have got no idea if they are interested in what I'm saying, what I've got to show them and what I'm trying to say. And we are so busy thinking about how much we are not engaged in the place or anything like that, we forget to listen what other people are offering, and we don't realise how valuable what the other people are offering can be. So getting over the feelings of how awful it is all about being prepared. And there's just some notes on here that that you can look at and work with and see if any of them resonates with you. This one does with me. I talk so fast that no one understands me. Now, when I first started speaking, I have a broad Sheffield Yorkshire accent. And when I first started speaking, I was told to lose it, to drop my accent because no one could understand me. And this had a big impact on me actually, because I stopped speaking. Can you imagine? I didn't stop speaking, but I did stop speaking in public because I was so concerned that people would not understand me. I was also concerned that people thought I was not trustworthy because of my accent. They thought that I was perhaps not good enough. And obviously they were my limiting beliefs, but I'd had that seed planted. So when that seed began to germinate and I realised that, yes, I do talk a little bit quick, I had to work on myself to realise that as long as I'm being myself, as long as I'm being authentic, then if people are interested, they will catch up. They will understand me and they can ask me to repeat something. I'm not an alien. I'm quite an accommodating person. So if somebody doesn't catch what I say, why not say, can you just repeat that? I didn't quite get it. So don't have your own limiting beliefs and hang-ups in the background. work on them and be able to get yourself over them, or employ someone to help you get over that as well. And then engage, don't lecture. Oh, I'm sure we've all been to networking events whereby we've been lectured, we've been told, we've been shown, we've been advised what to do. And at the end of the day, it comes across as a bit of a lecture. So engage with your audience, find out about your audience. When you're going to these networking events, either virtually or in person eventually, find out from the host what other businesses will be there. Is there anybody that they can sort of buddy you up with that will be of benefit to your business? If you can look at the guest list before, is there someone who you admire that you would like to engage with? And look at the value you can bring to those conversations and who your audience will be. I'm not here for the gossip. We've all been there, haven't we? And we've been to networking events, which are sometimes a bit cliquey, and people are only there to find out what you thought of Coronation Street the night before, or what's the latest thing on I can't think of the word for it. What's the latest thing on LinkedIn? I'll use that an example because I can't think of the other one. And people just want to know the gossip because they've not seen someone for a while. So think about it. If you're paying money to go to these networking events, if you are investing your time, 2 hours, what is that worth to you? How much is your hourly rate? What is that worth to you? You don't want to be going there just for a gossip and a catch up with your old mate. You can do that at any time. Yeah, 5-10 minutes, absolutely fine, have a catch up, but you're there for a reason, and that reason should be for the betterment of your business, or to better someone else's business. Did you miss the cakes and biscuits? There's always someone coming in late, isn't there? There's always someone not on time who disrupts and brings the energy, a different kind of disruptive energy to the meeting. So don't be that person. Make sure you arrive on time, whether it's online or not. Make sure you've got a drink handy. If you're online, there's my drink, it's there. Make sure you've got a drink handy if you're online, because there's nothing worse than when it gets to your point and you're a little bit dry. So make sure you've got your drinks, you've got any refreshments. If it's a lunchtime session or anything like that, quite a few do a shared lunch, whether it's on Zoom or, again, like I say, in the real world, which may be happening sooner rather than later, hopefully. I've not planned anything to say. This is disrespectful. If you are going to go to a networking event and not plan anything, then you're disrespecting your colleagues who are there, your peers who are there, your potential customers. You're giving the impression that you may think it's cute and ditzy. I wasn't expecting that, having to talk. I'm really sorry. What can I say about myself? And giving this sort of, like I say, ditzy sort of appearance. It's not endearing. It is not endearing in a business situation. Have a plan, work on your passion pitch so that you can walk into any networking event and be able to give your best, regardless of who your audience is. When I'm working with people one-on-one, that is what we do. We get into different scenarios so that you can just, at the drop of a hat, you can sub for someone, you can turn up a networking event when you get a last-minute invitation, and you can have something valuable and valid to say and put on the table. And this is one for Zoom. Do you think they know I am not dressed? Absolutely, they will not know. As long as you've got something decent on top, as long as you don't stand up with the camera on, they're not going to know that you've either got your shorts on or that you've got your pajama bottoms on or whatever. That is absolutely fine, as long as you remember and you've got your professional from the top up. I am fully dressed today, just in case you were wondering. And then one of the last ones, if you've only got, find out how long you're going to have to speak, 60 seconds, 3 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it is, make sure you are on time. There's nothing worse than that buzzer going off. You've got that buzzer, your time is up, and then you say, oh, sorry, my time's up, but I'll continue. I'll just finish. I want to tell you this. It's important that you know this. It's not that important. And again, Like having nothing planned to say, it's disrespectful because you're not showing your truth to the audience. You're disrespecting them, and you're also disrespecting yourself as well, because you're showing that you have not got the knowledge, the acumen, whatever, to stick to times and guidelines. So will someone really want to book in with you? Will someone want to find out what you have got to offer if you can't follow that guideline? And then the last one is buy from me and so much better than, and it's disregarding, it's discriminating, and it's not being very nice about your competitors or other people. Always have a professional level, and let that professional level be up there, not down there. Be up there with your professional level so that people know that you are respectful and you can then be respected. So it doesn't have to be your worst nightmare. I know it says networking your worst nightmare, but it's only going to be a nightmare if you allow it to be, if you are not prepared, and if you have the thoughts of the elevator as opposed to the passion that you can bring into the room. So what's the difference between an elevator pitch and a passion pitch? An elevator pitch is that brusqueness, it's the selling, the sales, the telling. It appears forced and it's often condescending. Totally are. It's like, this is my focus, I'm getting this out, I've got 60 seconds to say this, this is me, this is what I do, buy from me, this is who I want to be introduced to, book, 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 book. There's nothing there. It's a pitch. It's a pitch. And it's not a passionate pitch. Elevator pitches also can tend to be what's in it for me. We all want to get something. We all want to get something. But when we go purely with the thought of what's in it for me, who can I get as a client? Who can I get to buy my product? Who can I get to buy my services? Who, what, where, how? We are not opening up to the possibility of helping other people, of being able to do recommendations and being able to really network, because that is what it's about. Your net worth is your network, and it's about being able to work on that. And an elevator pitch often leaves a negative emotional legacy. Now, an emotional legacy is when you are in a room, live or virtual, and someone says something and then they just leave, or they say something and it just brings the vibe down. It leaves that negative energy in the room. It's like, well, they were only in it just for themselves. They were only in it for that, and they have no respect for anybody else in the room or whatever. And it leaves that icky vibe. If you know what I mean, it leaves that icky vibe. So we don't want to be leaving that negative emotional legacy, do we? We want to leave a positive emotional legacy. An emotional legacy whereby people, when you finish your 60 seconds or your 15 minutes or your 3 minutes or 20 minutes, when you finish speaking passionately about what you do and how you do it, you've sat down and it's someone else's turn. During those seconds before the next speaker, everybody is going, wow, what a lovely person. Oh, I can really see them helping me, my mate, my next door neighbour, or, oh, I know who I can connect them with, because you've left that positive emotional legacy where that they want to help. They want to be involved with you. They want to know more about what you do. So that is really, really important that you leave that positive emotional legacy, because a positive emotional legacy is like an upward spiral. The energy is higher and brighter and lighter. A negative one is a downward spiral, feels heavier and more encompassing. You want to be helpful and be of service. And I think this is perhaps one of the most important things when you're actually networking. And this may well be teaching you guys to suck eggs, but it's about being helpful and being of service. How can I help? There's a program called New Amsterdam, and it is absolutely brilliant. I love it. I love a hospital drama. Who doesn't? But the chief of the hospital, every single time he speaks to anybody, he says, how can I help? He never asks for anything. His words are always, how can I help? And he gets a team that is loyal. He gets patients that are feel supported, and he's got a board of directors that support him as well, because he is of service. And I know that is a drama, but it's a good legacy to have. That is a positive emotional legacy. How can I help? So when you're going round the table, when you're getting the other pictures, make a note, oh yeah, this guy I can introduce to whatever. My Auntie Jenny's looking for a will writer, I can refer them. And look at how you can possibly work together. Collaboration is so, so powerful. You need to be authentically congruent and naturally engaging. And that means be yourself. Don't be anything that you are not. If you are a naturally shouty person, then stand up, shout your pitch, and let people see the vibrancy, the amazement of yourself. If you are naturally a quiet, reserved person, still stand up, unless you're on camera, obviously, but let people see how natural, how caring, how authentic you are, and let people get a little bit behind the scenes of you, of your essence. Don't put any barriers up, let them see your essence. And an amazing passion page is all about sharing, showing, and storytelling. Sharing, showing, and storytelling. And that's what we're going to work on today. Because if you are sharing with people, you're sharing your authenticity. If you are showing them how you can help, you're engaging them, and people want to know more. And if you're storytelling, who doesn't love a story? Who doesn't love a little bit of a story, especially if it's got a happy ending? Especially if there's ways that you've helped people and it's got perhaps a little bit of a testimonial in there, or it's a funny, engaging story. That is what people want to find and to receive and to hear. So what does your network mean to you? And as Stephen Covey so brilliantly puts it, begin with the end in mind. What do you want from your network meeting? What do you want from the pitch that you are going to give? Do you want connections and leads? Or do you just want a conversation with someone? Is there going to be someone there that you really want to connect with and find out a little bit more about? Do you want to book a coffee or a follow-up? Make sure that if you do, you tell people that's what you want. I'm looking to speak to people today. I'm looking to meet for a coffee or a virtual coffee, to book in over Zoom so we can have half an hour and get to know each other a little bit better. That's really what I'd love. Are you looking for cash? Are you looking for investors? Are you looking for people to buy your service and product straight away? Have that idea in your mind, what you are going for. Are you looking to help others? The givers get. Are you there just to listen to the keynote speaker? I've been to loads of events when I have consciously made the decision that I am not particularly there for my means, apart from personal growth and personal development, apart from the fact that I want to listen to that speaker because I'm sure I will get some nuggets of information. I will get value to help me grow as a person, to grow my business, and to find new information out. So I'm not particularly bothered about smoozing with other people. I'm not going to be standoffish, but my main aim is to listen to the keynote and to learn. Are you there to sell? Are you there to be of service? Find out what it is and why you were there at the networking. Begin with your end in mind and you will get that end. So yes, and online too, it can be done. This is what you really want people to say, feel, and hear. They want to think, yeah, she's interesting. If you're a male, they want you to think, he's interesting. I'd like to find out more about them. That really resonated. That story then, wow, felt like she was looking into my soul then, and she knew everything that I am struggling with at the moment. That so resonated. I need to book in with that lady. wow, they're really listening to me, and I can see that. That is what you want. You want to be able to command that space, however big that space is. Command that space so they are listening, taking notes, understanding what you do and what you say. You want to sit down, you want to go, I nailed that, proper nailed that. I know I'm going to get appointments from that. I know I'm going to be able to have some collaborations and some chats beyond this screen or beyond this table. Let people know that you're here to help and serve. Tell them an interesting testimonial, a story, and always have a strong hook. We're going to work on them strong hooks. A strong hook, best thing ever. And you know what else? Leave them wanting more. I always say to people, don't be like a puppy. And another thing, oh, show me the ball. Let me show you this. Let me show you this. I'm so good. I want you to know this. Oh, I'm amazing. Be more cat. Leave them wanting more. Leave them wanting more. Because then, again, you've got that hook. You've got that connection. So does your passion pitch have clarity? You need to be clear. You need to speak to people as if they do not know a thing about you. So it's got to be clear. Use clear language. Speak clearly. Kiss. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple all the time. You've only got a minute. Generally, you have a minute or perhaps 3. When you have got such a short length of time, we tend to babble and we go and try and put too much information in there. Far better, like I said before, to leave them wanting more. So keep it simple. Don't tell them everything you do. If you offer multiple services, I offer multiple services. So if you offer multiple services, what service is best for your clients? Potential clients, for the people in the network on that day. Focus on that. Smile. Really important. I know when we're on Zoom or we're on the video calls, you're looking at yourself, and this is a big thing because normally in conversation, when we're speaking to people, we have got no idea what this is doing. We've got no idea how this is performing because our focus is on other people, is on the audience, but we can now see ourselves. So if that is so off-putting to you, then pop a sticky pad where you are on the screen. And then you can just go as if you are in a normal face-to-face conversation and you can't see your face, but smile. Make sure people know that you're engaging. You're telling them about your passion. If you're going to go there and say, well, my name's Elaine Mitchell and I help people to be amazing. I help people to get the passion pitch and be really passionate about the businesses. Nobody's going to believe me. Nobody. So put that across what you do and how you do it. My name's Elaine Mitchell. I help people to give amazing passion pitches at networking. It helps them to have clarity. It helps them to have confidence, and it helps them to communicate so much better. And breathe. Breathing is so important. We do not have to fill that 60 seconds like this. We don't have to do that. We don't have to fill those 60 seconds so quickly. We can breathe. We can have clarity. We can have a powerful pause because people then take on board what you're saying. If you've got pauses in there, if you have got breath in there, if you've got a smile and engaging body language, then people will take all that on board as opposed to trying to listen to a blah, 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 because it can't happen. You need to have the confidence. Does your passion pitch have confidence? Are you confident in what you are saying? Has it got consistency? Are you constantly giving across the message that you are reliable, that you are authentic, that you can deliver and do exactly what you say? So be consistent in your message, even if your message changes. Does it fit? Absolutely no use whatsoever me going to a networking and saying I'm a women's empowerment coach, I help women to feel amazing and be more of who they are because they feel oppressed, because they feel depressed, because they feel like they don't fit in. to a room full of executive men. No point whatsoever. So does your pitch fit in the network? And does it serve? Have the confidence to serve what you are saying and what you are doing. And to bring that passion across, it has to be authentic. It has to be interesting. I'm really sorry, but how many times do you buy of people who are really boring? We don't connect with people who are boring and who have not got any passion. And I'm not saying that you've got to be da, 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 all the time. You've got to be authentic. You've got to have that knowledge about what you do. And even if you are a quiet, reserved person, have that authenticity, that interest in your product in your quiet, reserved way. Don't fake it. This is not a place where we fake it till we make it. This is a place where we go in authentic and be on brand. Now, showing the passion for what you've got is amazing. Being on brand just gives you that edge. It gives you that edge of being able to show what you're about. Like this presentation, my brand colours are turquoise and peach. So my writing has got turquoise in. I've got turquoise eyeshadow on. Can you see? I've got turquoise eyeshadow on. And I've also got turquoise on the bricks behind me. So I've got that brand, the nods to my brand throughout my presentations. I have the nods to my brand, have the nods to your brand, have what you are about. If your brand colours are, I don't know, red, then wear something red. Wear a red flower, wear a red scarf, wear your red lipstick. Do something that makes you stand out. And even if when we're online and we've just got this little bit, there is so much more that you can do. There is so much that you can do to keep you on brand and make you show that you are passionate about what you do, because that's what it's doing. It's showing that you're passionate about what you're doing. It's bringing your brand to the table. So how do we craft our pitch? Now, I split it into 3 places, into 3 sessions, because normally when you're told on a networking situation, you will be told to stand up if it's a live situation, or look to the camera, to have 60 seconds to tell people your name, your business, what you're looking for, and anything else that you want to add in. Now, I think the hook is like the bedding in part of your pitch. So if you break it into 3 pieces, the hook, the body of it, and then your call to action. So your hook is generally about 15 seconds. These are like flexible timings. We can work on these. And also, once you've crafted your pitch, you can expand it to your 20-minute spotlight without a problem. So your hook is generally about 15 seconds. And if you can see right at the top there, I've put avoid your name and position at this stage. Odds on, if you're on a Zoom call, if you're on a screen call, your name will be in the corner of the screen. You've also had the person who is hosting the meeting say, Elaine, it's your turn. So we don't now need to say, my name's Elaine Mitchell. Pointless, because the last thing that people remember is generally the last thing you say. They don't generally remember the first things you say because they're still processing from the previous speaker. If they're going to be going up next to speak, they're like, oh, what am I going to say? Oh, I need to think about something. You need to get their attention. You need to hook them in. So avoid your name and your position, because you're going to tell them that later. Long gone are the days when you tell people what you're going to tell them, then you tell them what you've told them, and then you tell them again. You just remind them. Those days have gone. People have evolved from that. So avoid your name and position at this stage. Make it engaging and attention grabbing. Give a question or a statement. Make it relevant. So you can use the news from today. You can use whatever you want to use as a hook. A really, really good trick is to mention the previous speaker. Don't say things like, how am I going to follow that? Because then people will think, oh, no confidence. So you could say something like, how am I going to follow that? I'll raise you 10 and here I am. Bring a bit of humour in, but don't belittle the previous speaker, and don't make it look as if you've no confidence. No apologies. Never, ever, ever apologise for who you are or what you are sending. And when I say no apologies, I mean, don't apologise. Say, oh, I'm really sorry. I'm really nervous. Oh, I wasn't expecting to speak. Of course you were expecting to speak. You're at a networking event. So no apologies about not being prepared. That should not even be in the equation. And be strong, not shouty. There's a difference to, my name's Elaine Mitchell, here I am, to my name's Elaine Mitchell. That confidence in the voice makes all the difference. We're not shouting, we're not in an elevator, we're not pitching, we are being strong. We are owning our space. We are owning that space on that screen or in that event. We are owning that space. That is key. So your hook should be 15-ish seconds. And these are examples of hooks that draw people in. Jenny was scared and worried about speaking in public, as she had always been told she was too quiet and didn't have anything to say. That's a hook that will lift people's attention. Oh, I'm like Jenny, I'm a bit scared about talking. I don't really know what to say. And my parents always said I was too quiet and I never had anything to say. That will connect with people. They will engage in that. Imagine not having the confidence to speak to your peers and friends about the things you are most passionate about in your life. Again, imagining you're bringing people in to the hook, into the story. Do you like to be challenged? Do you like to stretch yourself for your personal and professional growth? Do you know you need to gain knowledge and confidence to be able to grow in your personal and professional life? You're hitting people there. Do you like to be challenged? Yeah, I like to be challenged. What you got? Show me. Do you know that you need to gain knowledge and confidence to be able to grow in your personal and professional life? I see all these confident people about. I didn't know. I thought you just were confident. I didn't know you could learn to be confident. I didn't know you could build yourself up. I wonder what else she's got to say. And you're planting those seeds. That is a brilliant hook. What would it mean to you if you had the confidence to stand up, speak and tell your story so that you could help those around you that need your help? What would that mean to you to be able to communicate really, really clearly, to be able to stand up and speak to people who you know need your help? What would it mean to you to feel confident, happy and successful, to show those around you your strengths and your abilities? That is speaking to people with little confidence. It's speaking to people who are perhaps got not much self-worth. And those people will be like, that'd mean a lot to me. I wonder if she can help. And then you've also got a hook, that's a personal story. I used to drive around the streets of South Yorkshire doing makeup on women and some men. They said they looked and felt like $1 million and they couldn't believe the transformation. Now, all of these took possibly less than 15 seconds because a minute is a long time, to be honest. A minute is a long time. But this gives the power of the pause. And these would not be read. These would be in my own language, in your own language. So you may well write them out longhand. You may well write some notes, but you would not read these out because these have got to come from you. These have got to be authentic and come from you. So when I'm working with people, we don't allow notes. We don't allow notes in the Zoom calls or the networking calls at all. I suppose you can get away with it a little bit more if you've got a Zoom call and you've got it up on behind the camera. But ideally, it's from the heart, and that's what hooks people in. So what could your hooks look like? What could your hooks look and feel like? How can you engage someone in 15 seconds without giving your name, by following those hook rules? No name, no business, know what you do. Bring a hook on board. Have a think about what your hooks could look like. And then crafting your pitch. this is the story and the body of your pitch. This is what's got the most attention, round about 30 seconds, which doesn't sound much at all, but you can get an awful lot in there. You can get an awful lot in there. So your pitch could be the story, and the body could be a story, could be a testimonial, could be relevant and topical, could be your achievements, could be profiles of clients and customers that you've helped. So I'm just thinking about that. If, like, say you were in a networking space and your client base was there, you really want to work on that profile of the clients, because you are then talking to them. You are showing them people, you are there for them and showing them. Could be a personal story. It can include your name and your business at this point, because with the hook, you've drawn people's attention. You've drawn people in with the hook. So you've drawn them in. Now they're interested. They might be making some notes, or they might be like, wow, she's really interesting. I want to know a little bit more about this. Then they are wondering, I wonder what her name is. And then they can work on that. And I'm generalizing this female. I know I am, but I'm female. So I'm doing it as if it's my story. So sorry about that, guys. But it's exactly the same. And this can be teased out for longer pictures, giving more detail and body to the story. So this is what you would tease out, you would use for your 20-minute spotlight. Put some meat and bones on the stories, on the testimonials, on the topics, and pitch it out should you want to. And then you've got something that you can always bring down and you can always bring up. So you've always got something to fall onto, which is what I said about not tripping yourself up and never being unprepared. Some examples. But Jenny knew better than that. Deep down, there was a storyteller. She had so much to say, and she wanted to make a huge impact on the world with her story. She knew she could help millions of women who had suffered like she had, if she had the confidence to speak out. Jenny came to me and we crafted her story. So it was engaging, a wonderful keynote speech that she takes to schools and women's groups across the world. She's now an author and in demand on talk shows. Jenny is so glad she didn't listen to those who said she had no voice. I helped Jenny find her voice, and I can help you find yours too. See that body? That probably wasn't 30 seconds. So it needs a little bit more breath in and it needs some timing. But that's the body of one of my pictures, where Jenny came to me. She'd no confidence. She'd got a massive story to tell, and she wanted to help people who had been, to prevent them from being a victim like she was. So something like that is a really powerful story to put out there. And then this one relates to the makeup one. But I could see that once the makeup was off, once that makeup was taken off, they would go back to their old selves with little confidence, low self-esteem, and that feeling of not being good enough. I could see that the fantastic lipstick didn't make that person feel how they longed to feel, although it does help. So I became a life coach, and now I help women and some men step into their truth, to gain their confidence, to raise their self-esteem and their self-worth, and truly know they are more than good enough. I do this through my Power of 3 personal and online coaching programs. See, that's painting the story back from the makeup. So you know I've got a history. You know that I used to be a beauty therapist and I used to help people to look amazing. But I could see that they didn't feel amazing all of the time. So I went away and I trained as a coach to help people feel amazing all of the time. So you're getting a good story in there that is engaging. I hope it is, to help people to get that and to get a feel for what you're about. This woman really likes helping people. This woman loves to boost people's confidence, to make them feel more than enough, to be more of who they are. So what could the body of your pitch look like? I'm sure you've got some testimonials in there that you're thinking, wow, I can make that. Think of your favourite client. What story can you make out of that? Think of the best sale you ever did. If you sell products, what is your best product that you've ever done? And work on the body of your pitch like that. And then finish with a flourish. We love a curtain call, don't we? We absolutely love it. So when you're finishing with a flourish, round about 15 seconds, depending how long you've spent on your body, this is when you do your call to action and your end. There is nothing worse than a bit of a ending, nothing worse. And that's it, that's all I've got to say now. And you fade away to nothing. Finish with a flourish. Finish with a ta-da. The moment that people want to know more, you leave them wanting more. So this is when you can introduce your name if you've not already done it. You can give an invitation or an instruction. You can give an offer if you've got an offer. You can request an audience with someone in particular should you want. And the biggest thing, like I've just said, is stay strong and don't fade out. You're keeping those people's attention and you're wanting their information. You're wanting them to think, wow, so powerful when they think that. So flourishing finishes are, my name is Elaine Mitchell, Empowerment Coach. I work with individuals and groups, helping them to find their voice for presentations. So they speak their truth with confidence, clarity and passion, resulting in increased confidence, personal and business growth. To find out more, let's book in a clarity call and see if I can help you to find clarity and confidence with communication. I've told them my name, told them what I do to reiterate the story from before, told them my ideal clients, individuals, help them find their voice for presentations. So let's book a call. And we can see if we can work together or if I can help you in any way. I'm Elaine Mitchell and I love to help people realise they are more than good enough. When people work with me, they have the confidence and self-worth to show the world who they are from the inside out. Yes, they may still wear killer heels and a drop-dead lipstick. They are just the icing on the cake. They are not the foundation of who they are. If you want to gain confidence and clarity, then perhaps my Power of 3 program is for you. Or for someone you know, I'd love to discover it. And the coach for you, let's book in a call. Just going to grab a drink. So what would your flourish look like? What is your aim? Do you want an appointment? Just like I said earlier, begin with the end in mind. Do you want an appointment? Do you want a referral or an introduction? And this will all depend on the sort of places that you are networking. Weave it into the end to ensure that it keeps in flow with the rest of your page. Excuse me. So weave that in, know what you want from the end and ensure that you put it forward. There's nothing worse than sitting down and going, oh, I forgot to ask for. That's not what it's about. You're planning these, you're being passionate about it. Make sure you get what you want out of it. So work on your flourishes and you're finished. Ta-da. So that's it. I hope you have got something from that because I love helping people create their pictures. I think it's something that we are lacking in due to confidence, due to not feeling able to work and take things forward. I think we have an impression of what a networking event should be like, and we go to this networking event and then we get embroiled in the hype of it. We get embroiled in the story of what the networking event should be rather than what we are offering and what we're about. So I'm really passionate about making the elevator pictures passion pictures I hope you've got something from that. If you want to be involved and you would like the handouts from this, then please drop me an email at mail@elainemitchell.co.uk. I will more than happily send you the point notes from this session. If you would like to join my online 5-day passion pitch course, that is basically an email and a video into your inbox for 5 consecutive days. That gives you the opportunity to build your confidence and build your pitches, to help you to prompt some thoughts, to be able to pull up some information and to get that going. So by the end of those 5 days, you can walk into any networking event, any presentation, and know what you can offer. You can do it so easily. And then I also do Zoom training and coaching, one-to-one, a couple of hour session. There's a link there. It's on my calendar link, so you can actually book in for that session and we will boss that in 2 hours. I'm also quite good at helping with suggestions for the pictures, so we really do boss it down and do that. A couple of testimonials there that I'm sure you've had a chance to read as well. So I would love to keep in touch with you guys. I would really, really enjoy that. So let's stay connected. You can see my contact details on there. And I hope you have got something from that. Thank you so much for sticking with it. Thank you so much for considering changing your elevator pitch into a passion pitch. My name's Elaine Mitchell, and I really do hope that you have got something from it. I would really appreciate any feedback that you've got, and also if you've actually put anything into play from watching this, what you've got from it. How did you feel? How was it being passionate about your pitch, and what was those stories like? How weird did it feel when you started your presentation and you didn't say your name or where you were from? It can feel a little bit uncomfortable at first because it's not something we're used to, but doing something you're not used to and what everybody else, your audience, is not used to is what gets the results, because they listen, they're like, wow, they said something really different then. They must know what they're doing. Very clever. Well done. I appreciate that. Let's work on that. So give me any feedback as to how you've done and what you've done. I'm really looking forward to finding out how things are going for you. My name's Elaine Mitchell, empowerment coach and expert at changing your elevator pitch to passion pitch. I will hopefully speak to you soon. Take care.